And you should be tagged as soon as it does go live.
Yep, I see it now. All right.
Okay, there we are. Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Gratitude Happy Hour. And we're so glad you're here with us today. I have a very special guest that I'm wanting to introduce everybody to. And I want you to meet Nick Seigel. Hi, Nick. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello very much. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for talking on your gratitude happy hour. I've been looking very forward to this.
Awesome. We've all been looking forward to hearing you and having you share with us your wonderful presence. I want to say hello to John Fiore, Robert Bateman, Amy Campbell. Hello. And John is saying hello to you, Nick.
Oh, hello. I'm just taking a very brief moment and sharing it out to my epilepsy communities and disabled communities. So if you would just bear with me one moment. This is a very splendid
Yes.
opportunity. I want to make sure that all the members of my community are able to, if not watch now, then watch later. So definitely something that I want to give them the opportunity for.
Yes,
So just bear
absolutely.
with
I was
me.
just sharing it out myself. And I want to welcome Margaret Ellen, who's with us every day. Hello, dear Margaret. Lady M. And Linda Lemieux is here, and Nova Moon. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for jumping on here. I have a very special guest that I'm going to pretty much just let him explain who he is and what he does. I just recently met Nick and loved his energy. So I know you all are going to love him as well. I want to welcome Debbie Evans. And I'm hoping that my friend Paula Floor will come on today. Paula is my gratitude person. You all know how I ask you every day, who or what are you grateful for? And I just love that you all do respond and tag those people that are your gratitude people. Let them see that you're grateful and just bring them into the nest here with us. We have a great time every day on Gratitude Happy Hour. It's all about gratitude, which is really love. Gratitude resonates at the same frequency as love. So when you're sharing out with somebody and you say, I'm grateful for you, you're really saying, I love you in the same frequency of that word. So let's get right to it. We've got people jumping on
Yes,
and
I see. I'm checking the scrolling window here. Thank you, everybody. I think the best way to start is essentially what the Radio Cave Foundation is doing is we are intending to provide various mediums through which the disabled communities of the world will be able to have things like their arts, and that comes to philosophy and crafts and poetry, music, painting, sketching, anything of those natures, and be able to give them several mediums and through which they can be presented and displayed, not only in a conventional brick and mortar type festival or monthly support group, which we're trying to initiate right now, but also through a traveling caravan that would go to conventional festivals like Burning Man and the World Space Party and the Woodstock 50th event that's going to be coming up this year, and be able to display those disabled individuals' talents at large scale events where they've been passed over for so many years. And I think the inspiration, and I know where this came from, is myself as a poet and a musician for the last 20 years. There were support that I just never had. And I've been lucky enough to find the acceptance in the earth dance communities around the world and around the globe. And I thank them for cracking the shell that I put around myself with epilepsy. And they've given me the ability to think of all these things and be able to unite a loving, holistic community with communities that need support. And I think it's a really good thing. And that's essentially what the Radio Cave Foundation is. How we do it is another story.
So tell us how this all got started. How long ago did it get started? And was it just like a
Well,
brainstorm that came out of you?
I've been dealing with epilepsy for approximately 20 years, but I didn't come out
Okay.
of the closet, so to speak, until September of last year when I was actually working with the Earth Dance Global Organization in Earth Dance, Florida, here in Florida. And what we did was we took 6 different countries, to be specific, Australia, London, Israel, Uruguay, as well as Houston, Texas here and Florida. And I think I listed them. And we were able to work together and basically broadcast our prayer for peace that the Earth Dance Global as an organization performs on every September 22nd at a universal coordinated time at midnight, essentially. And all these communities around the world have a vigil where they pray for peace. And what we did this year for the first time was link 6 of them on the screen at the same time. Well, when that occurred, that act of communal digital catharsis and commune to me made me realize that there's much more capable and there's many more resources than were given credit previously, and that this new digital day and age is giving opportunities where they didn't really lay before. And seeing that Earth Dance community accepted me and brought me in only makes me want to now extend that type of support and that type of hand to not only the epileptic communities, but also the communities of autism and Down syndrome and the deaf and any disability. And the models and the business structures and formats, so to speak, that we're coming up with can not only be applied to communities and holistic people and disabled communities around the world, but also be spread to any spectrum of disability as well, essentially creating a universal support for the people by the people. And
I
that's what we're
love that.
doing.
Yeah, I love that. I love those words. So I just want to ask any of you that are on here with us today, do you have any questions for Nick? Anything that you want to know? Maybe how you can get involved, get more involved. And I know you said you're going to the Woodstock reunion event. Is that in?
Well,
Um,
yes, it's very much just being spoken about right now, but it has been confirmed that there will be a Woodstock 50th event this year. The
okay.
details are still forthcoming. I'm sure I can post 1 or 2 links regarding that in there as well, but we are really trying to make a plight so that the disabled communities will have a 100% accessible area in this once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to gather and be able to commune together and celebrate this wonderful type of event. And this would just be another show of, the communities supporting themselves and one another.
Absolutely.
So more
So
links,
that will
more links
that
to
will be
follow.
that will be in New York, correct? The same place as the
Yes,
original?
that'll be in New York. The details will be in the post for what's been released so far. And I believe it's the August 16th through the 19th, if I remember the article I was referring earlier today.
Okay, awesome. So our friend John Fiore, who jumps on here and plays with everybody every day with his wonderful sense of humor. John, you're in New Jersey, so maybe you can hitch a ride, John. I have to give him a hard time, Nick.
Well,
He's
we'd
fun
like
to
to.
play with.
Well, by that point, if things go well, I'd like to have at least a single bus or a caravan that would be traveling around to that local area, picking up individuals that would want to attend. So these are all things that are in the scope of the Radio Cave Foundation. So if everybody just stays tuned, hopefully the powers will manifest things the way that we're envisioning, and all of us will have the opportunity to take part in this either locally or online through being broadcast to our local communities and things of that nature. So that way we can reach the
Right.
disabled individuals that can't make it due to mobility issues. We don't want to not include them as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love the fact that you are so forward thinking and helping those that can't be at certain events like that. And John says, sure. So John, maybe you pick up Maria de la O as well. She's in New York. We'll just get a party going and I'll just have to hitch a ride with you, Nick, on the way up.
That sounds like a plan, most certainly. That'll be right around the time of some of the other retreats and things that I hope to attend. So that'll be good.
Awesome. Awesome. So John's
And I
offering
guess
some assistance there.
Oh, excellent. I'm always, as a founder of the foundation, I'm always open to meeting new people and speaking about new ideas. The number of things that we're doing to support the community, we actually have, we're calling them, or I'm calling them the 7 pillars of support. And I'll also release some documentation on the comments that is essentially the 7 individual facets that we're creating or that we've envisioned to be able to help individuals. And so anybody that can help manifest or help contribute to those causes and those things would be great. For example, just today, one of the things that we're doing is we're going to be starting a weekly Zoom conference. We're calling it the Epilepsy Empowerment and Empathy Chat Support. And it's going to be a once weekly meeting group that's going to be talking about epilepsy education, scientific discoveries, science, things of that nature. And it was brought to my attention that if a group like that were to get big enough, that could be brought to satellite radio. And
Oh,
just as they said
yes.
that, that's a very, very good point, and that could be an opportunity for, again, even larger scale of global education and awareness. So all of the things that we facilitate can lead to bigger things and can commingle to larger co-creations with more people, and is also hence why we push unity so hard in our community and what we're building.
I love it, John. Or sorry, I'm calling you John because he's like on my mind right now. But I love it, Nicholas, and I love all of this information that you're sharing with us. And I know when I met you, it was at an event where we had sound healing, and just your energy is so beautiful. You are very healing just being in your energy. And I just like to ask everybody that's come on here to give Nick some love, show some hearts up there if you're feeling that warmth and that love from him, because that's exactly what I was drawn to, was that energy of openness and wanting to help others. And, you know, it's anytime that we can feel a camaraderie with somebody, whether it's because we've gone through some of the same things together in life, the same struggles and challenges, or if we're just in that community where we're all gathering and helping each other, then we find our soul group, our soul family.
Yeah,
So,
and I had no idea that the family that I've acquired and I've gathered even
yeah.
existed until I opened my heart and I opened my hands and realized that there was a lot more that was capable than what my mind was allowing me to realize and to feel. So in that sense, I owe a debt of gratitude to the members of Earth Dance Florida and also the Earth Dance Broadcasters United and Earth Dance Global itself as well. I thank you for that.
Great, awesome. Well, I want to just stop for a moment and recognize those that are coming on. And Kathy Rupp,
Yes.
thank you for being here. Agnes Ball, Alexandria Francis, and I heard Linda or saw Linda Lemieux post that she's ready for a road trip. So yeah, Linda, you're going with me when we go to Woodstock. And Melissa Wargo, Ganimate is here, and my darling niece, Brenda Evans. So thank you all for finding us today. And hopefully you're benefiting from this wonderful information that Nick is putting out. And I want to hear more about the Zoom weekly broadcast that you will be doing. Will that be broadcast live on Facebook
Uh,
or on social media?
Yeah, well, what we're going to be doing is we're trying to basically give everybody the option to interact in whatever way they feel comfortable. So I'm
Okay.
going to be opening it up to, at first, what we're going to do is we're going to open it up to video chat or video conferencing, as well as call in, as well as if you just wanted to turn your camera off and you just wanted to sit there and listen. We're giving the individuals as many options as we can just to hear the information. If they want to interact, how and what they choose to interact with is up to them. But
Right.
basically, um, we have a website, and we're going to be releasing a newsletter here within the next week by the 15th of this month, and we're going to be starting our weekly chat supports in the first week of February. We thought, since it's the month of love, that the first week of February would be a good week to start the empowerment support
Yes.
chats. So that's when we've scheduled. We'll have the exact dates and times, and then basically we'll have on those weekly chats, we are actually in contact with over 117 right now global organizations of various disabilities. So each week we're going to have members from different associations and different foundations. And for example, our first week we'll have Jennifer Ann from Jennifer's Epilepsy page, which I can put her comments in the link below, or her link in the comments below as well. And she's going to be one of our guests from the Australia, New Zealand region that we're working with. And we're also going to be doing interviews with our Artists of the Month. Back in December, Radio Cave awarded the Artist of the Month award to Lori White. And hopefully that's been helping her out. And we love her art, and we love her posts, and she's a great contribution to the community. So we'll be having her as an interview, as a guest on the show as well. And then I'll also be having other people on the show that have informational points of education and things of that nature, and basically make it as informative and as general and as broad of a scope as possible. And we'll also be talking about some of the Radio Cave Foundation's goals and um, a little more specifics. We'll give the members who call in the ability to really ask specific questions about the 7 pillars of support that I referred to, so they can have a little more idea of how those individual facets can interact and benefit them. Like you were saying earlier, one of the things that we're focusing on is what we're calling our holistic nexus, which is very something similar to that event that we had met at first with Sherry Kaplan. And I would say that that event changed my life for sure. It gave me the idea to take that model and apply that message and that feeling and that aura, that change that came from it to the other individuals in my groups, and be able to give them the opportunity to experience those things. And then not only that, but also be able to add some of the other things that I learned when I came down to Miami for Art Basel 2018, was some of the interactive community art and some of the real interactive community events that they do at their gatherings and whatnot. And that's when I really came up with the idea of taking something like Sherry's holistic fairs and custom tailoring them to add more things like group yoga and group
Mhm.
painting and community art, and add a greater level of interactivity for the individuals who don't get generally a chance to get out and interact very much. So that's where I thought of it as more of a way to kind of upscale it and include everyone. And it also gives the vendors and the people that I'm working with a much larger idea that we can work with many, many different practitioners and healers and instructors and coaches, and people need all of that. You know,
Mhm.
people are sick and tired of pharmaceuticals, and they're sick and tired of their doctors telling them there's nothing else to do, and there's, you know, that this is it, and you know, it's time for a change, and people need to hear all these alternatives that are really what needs to happen. And that's what we're focusing on, is just bringing education and these alternative practices to light, and let individuals choose
Yeah,
what they want to interact with.
absolutely. Giving more of a chance for quality of life. That's what I see it as.
Exactly, exactly. In the end, one of the biggest things that I say, and the most heartfelt things I say, is all of the actions that I facilitate myself only facilitate my needs to free others of their suffering. And even if it's just a little bit, that's what all of this is for in the end.
Yes. And I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, people can get involved with you through the foundation. And one of our guests asked, Linda asked, what the foundation website is. So, if you can state that, and as well as maybe type it into the
Yes.
comments.
It's actually very simple. It's basically, it's the, all one word, the Radio Cave Foundation.com. So I know it's a mouthful, but it's easy to spell. It's all one word, the Radio Cave Foundation.com. And I'll put the notes in the comment as well. And just to let you know where I got the idea for Radio Cave, because I know a lot of people ask,
Yeah,
is
curious.
I was in a 6-year depression myself, and I spent many years in my room, and I was a DJ for many years. So I have an internet radio station, and that's where Radio Cave came from. Radio Cave was originally an internet radio station to preserve the history of music. And we have 6 stations currently that are commercial free. And that's what I originally
Mhm.
did. That's where Radio Cave came from.
Okay.
Then, after realizing all of these other things, it kind of morphed into the Radio Cave Foundation. So it's really, there's 2 separate things, but I also look at the Radio Cave as the medium through which the voices who have been trapped by the walls of the caves will now get out to the world. So it allows those who have had no to very soft voices, or whose voices have not been heard, will now be transmitted through those thick walls of ignorance or stone, and they will be heard by all.
Yes, absolutely beautiful. And yes, Karen Boda, thank you for posting that link. And I have been to your website, and I did click on some of the stations. I know one that in particular I clicked on was the 80s, and because I love the music from back then. And it's just great. You can just click on there and listen to music. So check it out, please, and find out what that's all about and connect with Nick. It's all about connection. And that was one reason why I wanted to have you on here, so people could get to see what you're all about. And I think you're going to have some friend requests after this, Nick. You're going to have people that want to get involved in this, because if we are spiritual at all, we want to give. We want to connect with other like-minded individuals and say, how can I help? What can I do? What's my part that I can play in this? So I'm hoping that networking will definitely be something that happens after the show today.
That would be wonderful. I would definitely welcome any type of help, even if it's just people within the communities that know
Yeah.
friends with epilepsy, or parents with children with epilepsy. Our community spreads a lot of great information, and we generally are very positivity and optimistic community. So even if it's just reaching out to send others our way that need help. We have members in our group that stay up with other individuals when they're having hard times in their lives and look out for each other. And we provide a lot of online support for our community members too. So whether it be reaching
Yeah.
out and being able to help our business aspect and be able to create these fundraisers and help the community and learn more, or if it's just to spread our community acknowledgement, any of that would help, and we look forward and accept any of it.
Awesome. Well, another thing I do on the show is pull a card for all of us, a card for the day. And it's very interesting because as I was listening to you explain, how you went through your dark night of the soul with that depression and, trying to figure out, putting yourself in a cave, trying to figure out what to do, how to climb back out. It was interesting that the card that I had already pulled before the show started is called Baby Steps. And that's what it's all about, right? That's how we have to do anything that we do when we're going to make a change. And I love that the number of the card is number 5, which in numerology, that's all about change. So the card for all of us, and I think it really is something that's very pertinent to this, to what we're talking about, is baby steps and how we can just step out of our comfort zone a little bit at a time. That's all it takes. Just take that one step. It may be scary. It may be, you might be doing some negative talking to yourself of, I can't do this. But when you do take that first step and you start coming out of that and realizing I can do this, then it's just beautiful because you've opened up to possibilities. You're no longer limiting yourself. So that's
Correct.
The card for everybody today. And I hope you resonate with that. Do you resonate with that card, Nick?
Actually, to be quite honest with you, it resonates quite powerfully with me because if you go to numerology.com and I know my life numbers are actually 995.
Awesome.
So for you to pull a 5 card and my last number be a 5 is actually quite universal. And it's a lot of things like that happen for me, which makes me acknowledge and I understand that those things are signs that I'm on the right path.
Oh, absolutely. Someone asked what the cards are. It's the Oracle of E cards by Pam Grout. Pam Grout has several books out. One of the books is E Squared, which we have talked about here on Gratitude Happy Hour for quite a while. And I love these cards because I have found that no matter what the situation, when I pull one of these cards, it always speaks to me or to the person I'm doing a reading for. So thank you for asking, and thank you all for being here today and for tuning in. So Nick, you've been watching the show for a while now, so you know that I always end the show with some energy healing, lifting up, sound healing, lifting people up. And so I have Angel Grace sitting here ready to play some tunes for us. But before I do that, I just want to see if there's anything else that you would like to share, any message or anything that you want to share with people about what you do and getting in touch with you and all of that.
I think the easiest thing to just share in a nutshell is I will put our Instagram and our Twitter page and our social medias in the comments. So the biggest thing that anybody can do to help is the simplest thing that everybody can do to help, and that's just share. And, follow the likes and just talk about us. And by speaking about us, you'll manifest what we want to do and you'll help us in our goals. So I'll place everything in the comments, and if everybody could just read and share and see the things we're doing, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do that. Even after the show is over, people will get the benefit of the information. So please share it on your timelines, in any groups that you're in. If you know somebody that can benefit from this, I think we all can think of somebody, whether it's in our immediate group of people that's in our lives or somebody that connected with somebody that If you have anybody at all that can benefit from information about disability and how they can get involved in this wonderful network, this Radio Cave Foundation, there's so many benefits that's going to happen. So share it with them. Share it so that other people will know. And I have some connections I'm going to share it with as well, Nick, that I think will want to get involved with this foundation and want to help you along the way. All right, so at this point, we ask for anything that you need to have lifted up, anything that you are in need of for a higher vibration. And I want to just speak to Sabrina. Sabrina, you said that it's scary taking those baby steps. And yeah, it can be scary, but sometimes we have to feel that fear and we have to do it anyway. We have to just really trust, and that's a huge word. So, Sabrina, you're not alone. And I saw people lifting you up and sharing with you that you're not alone. You're here with a very loving community. This is a community that grows every day. We have different people come in. We have the same people that come in. So we get to know each other. And you're part of this community, Sabrina. So thank you for being raw and being real and putting that out there in the comments. So anybody else that has anything you want to share, I'm going to play a little bit of Angel Grace. And Nick, I always offer to my guests on the show, if you want to lead us in just a real short meditation or helping us to connect our energy together, you're more than welcome to do that for us. Or if not, I will just
I think you do a pretty good job at that, and I think I've stated everything. So I'm good with just you leading that part. I'm good with that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, so let's just start taking a deep breath in, listening to the sound and letting it go right into your heart. Take that breath in slowly and release it slowly. And I see people putting in the comments what they needed lifted up for. I see you, Bobby. Thank you. And I know Margaret Ellen is here and she has friends and neighbors that are in need. So I see you, Margaret Ellen. I'd like to place my friend Paula Floor, who is my gratitude person today, place her in the circle for healing. One of her dear fur babies just passed away, and I know she's hurting because of that. So as you take that breath in, focus on gratitude. Bring up something, whether it's a person, an animal, a place, an experience, something that brings gratitude to your heart so you can really feel into it. And then when you exhale, just release anything that's not serving you, anything that you need to let go of. The more we hold on to things inside that's low vibration, the more we harm ourselves and don't live up to the huge potential we have. Take another deep breath in. And this time when you exhale, I want you to send it out to everyone connected here right now. Send it to me, send it to Nick, and to everyone that's watching, everyone who will watch on the replay. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. And we will lift you up for that. Now I want you to take a deep breath in slowly, and let's slow this down and let's start thinking about peace. Thinking about what peace looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. My heart's desire is peace on earth. So I ask you to join me for a moment of silence in honor of bringing peace to our world. Thank you for joining me in that wish and that desire. And every day on the show, I share my mantra that I say every day, which is, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And that's what I wish for morning and night. I always say that prayer. And I know the angels are listening. I know they're hearing, and I know that there will be peace on earth. I know that in my heart. So I want to thank all of you for joining us. And Nick, I have certainly enjoyed our time together. I want to have you back again, my friend. And thank you. Thank you for being you. And thank you for sharing so much wonderful, good stuff with us and how we can all connect with you and get involved. That's what it's all about, is getting involved and helping each other, whatever our paths are, whatever we can offer. We can offer a helping hand anywhere. And whether it's sending out the message, letting other people know, like you said, spreading the word out there. And those that are in need of it will find it because we got involved and we spread the word. So I want to thank you. I appreciate you so much. Your beautiful, beautiful energy. And I know our listeners have loved you today. So thank you again for being here.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. And, as we move forward on the things that we're creating and we get more news, I will keep you posted. I do know that March 26th is Epilepsy Day, but I know Disney is doing an event prior to then for epilepsy. So I'm hoping to maybe coordinate with some, people out there. And as things come along, we'll just keep everyone posted because that's the way to keep everybody up to date on what's going on and keep everybody involved. And that's what we want to do is keep everybody involved. That's part of the unity.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so grateful for social media. That's one thing that is a huge benefit, is being able to spread the word more quickly and reach a mass amount of people. So
Agreed.
Awesome. Thank you. And I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And Nick, enjoy the rest of your evening. I love you, my friend. Thank you for being here again. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow, 5 o'clock.